I know as you have, yeah. It's a hard thing for me to slip in the car or to text me. I get it.
West Palm TV, 30 seconds, please.
All right, good morning, everyone. I'm going to call to order the city's Code Enforcement Special Magistrate hearing. Today is October 4th already. It is 9:06 a.m. My name is Amity Barnard. The first thing I'm going to do is, if you're here to testify on any case on today's agenda, if you could stand and raise your right hand. That includes city staff as well. I'm going to swear everybody in at the same time. So if you're here today for a code enforcement case, please stand and raise your right hand and be sworn in. Do you all swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. A bit about process. Most of the cases are violation hearings. When you hear your case called, the city's code officer will come to the podium to my left and present their case, any evidence, any testimony they have. You will come to the podium to my right. The city will present its case first. When they're finished, you will have an opportunity to present any evidence you have, cross-examine any of the city's witnesses, and tell me anything that you'd like me to consider as part of your case. Remember, all your testimony today is given under oath. And with that, I will turn it to the city to call its first case.
First case number 15, 4009 Heath Circle North, CE 23080475. Number 15, 4009 Heath Circle North.
And Mr. McFarland, if I could swear you in.
Yes, I'm sworn in.
You were sworn? Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Sir. Go ahead.
I apologize. What number are we on?
15, sir.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On August 18th, the property at 4009 Heath Circle North was cited for expired permits, fence repair, and repeat violation. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted September 20th. Certified mail and regular mail was sent September 18th. The underlining case for the repeat is CE 211-00159. That case came into compliance on March 7th, 2022. The fence repair has since come into compliance on 9/22. That would be 34 days out of compliance. City's requesting $50 a day. At 34 days, brings it to $1,700 for the repeat. For the expired permit, city's requesting 45 days to reopen permit or close, or $50 a day until that is in compliance.
Thank you, Mr. McFarland. Do you have anything further at the moment?
I have been in contact with the property owner. He's aware what needs to be done. He's diligently working towards it, but unfortunately, the fence repair, which is the repeat violation, there is going to be a fine today.
Okay, so let me ask a couple of housekeeping questions.
Sure.
Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
And I apologize, I was looking down. Do we have any photographs? And if so, so the photographs that we're going to be seeing now, do they
Right.
truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violation that you've observed at the property?
As you can see, the fence is decrepit. It's been like that for quite some time. When I first encountered this property back in '22, they obtained a permit, so I figured they were going to go ahead with the work. But that never transpired, so that's what initiated the repeat violation and the expired permit.
Okay, so just to be clear, the photographs are consistent with your observations on the property, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good on that one. And so for the record, to make the record clear, on the agenda, we've got a permit, intent, and expiration, and the repeat, but you're asking for two separate
Correct.
remedies today, correct?
Yes, split
Okay.
order, yes, ma'am.
And they,
One for the expired permit and one for the repeat.
okay. And just for the record, what was the date you first observed this fence at this point
It was the August 18th.
of 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
And the underlying case that you told us about, 211-00159, did that have the same Florida Building Code 105.4.1?
No, that was for the repair fence. The 94-302-A-4. That's what the repeat is for. Okay. It's because you're not seeing it there. That's what you're referring to?
What's that?
The 94-302-A-4. With the new EPL, once you comply it in the system, it takes it off the agenda. So you're not seeing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's on the notice of violation?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And when you say that the underlying case came into compliance, can you just tell us, was that a compliance per an order, or was that a compliance before an order came out? Do you, if you know?
It was per order. It did go to a hearing.
Okay. And there's definitely an affidavit of compliance for that?
Yes.
Okay, so they're not currently running fine on that at all,
No,
right?
no.
Okay, the underlying case. Very good, thank you. And I believe that you asked for time on the permit.
Yes, I asked for 45 days on the permit to either reopen it or close it.
Got it. And 45 days, a reasonable amount of time?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, pop-up printout sheet, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, the underlying case documents that have been discussed, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Thank you. And just what the underlying, the repeat violation, what's the code section for the fence?
94-302-A-4.
That's E-4?
94-302-A-4.
A-4, thank you. And can I ask one request? On the screen in front of me, could that box be made bigger so I can see those documents? I don't know if the media people do that. Your name, sir, for the record?
My name is Andrew Kiriakou.
Thank you very much. Very good, sir. So you've heard what the city is saying. What's your position? It sounds like you need to get a permit.
Can I
either closed out or renewed? Go ahead.
Can I interrupt for just 1 second? I'm sorry, it got a little loud in here and I didn't hear the gentleman's name.
It's Andrew, last name Kiriakou.
Okay, and we're dealing with 4009 Heath.
Circle North.
And how are you related to the owner of the property?
That's my wife.
Okay, very good, thank you. I'm
Uh,
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's fine. Thank you.
Everything Mr. McFarland said was true. I was having a little bit of trouble following the time that everything was mailed at. I believe you said the 18th, but the fine would be what was said, maybe 30 days or so. I believe we received it on the 20th. I had the fence removed the following day.
Mr. McFarland, do you want to clarify your dates with him when you first observed?
He received 2 notices, ma'am. That's what he's referring to,
Okay.
because it was reset for this hearing.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. I must have somehow missed the first one.
And
Good.
I must have missed the first. I received the one on the 20th that was on the door and in the
Oh,
mailbox.
there was also one on the door.
Yeah, I know they resent, I think, both of them in the same
Exactly.
envelope.
It was
Yeah,
resent.
I saw it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
so where are you with getting the permit either closed out or
the
renewed?
permit, I was on the project docs trying to update it. It still says that it's open, so I was thinking I need to put in a phone call to get it switched over to the new fencing material. We're going to do a chain link because the price of the wood is prohibitive.
Okay. And you heard the city, what he's asking for is compliance within 45 days. That seems like a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, that's
Would
fine
you
with me.
agree? Okay.
Yeah.
You think you can get through the process within 45 days? And because he did get you on repeat, he's asking me to fine you today, which by statute is I have to do that because he did find you in repeat violation, or he did cite you for repeat violation. I'm going to fine based on the photographs that I've seen in the testimony that you are in repeat violation. But hopefully you can get the permit matter closed out within the time required, so you don't
Absolutely.
have to get any other fines. Anything further you'd like me to hear, sir?
Is there any way to maybe reduce the fine at all to help us out? Just the work we're doing to the yard is going to be over $10,000 worth of work by the time we're done. I'm really trying. It's just a struggle. So.
Does the city have any response, or just typical fine mitigation?
I mean, he's open to apply for a lien reduction.
So you can always, once, it's a little bit premature to ask that today. Once the order is issued today, you can request a lien mitigation in the future, but you want to get your permit matter closed out as well.
Okay.
Because if you have open code cases, typically you don't get lien mitigation, or you don't get on the agenda. But that's the process you would need to follow.
All right.
All right, anything further, sir?
No.
All right, in case CE, anything further from the city?
That's it.
Okay, in case CE 23080475, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. Sir, let me ask you, I guess I didn't ask you, let me scratch that. The documents you admitted to receiving the notices, but do you have any objection to the photographs, all the documents that have been scrolling?
None at all.
Okay, thank you. So with that, I will admit the city's evidentiary case file without objection as composite exhibit 1. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting as well as the certified mail documents in the case file that you have good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs and testimony of a city code enforcement officer that the respondent is in repeat violation of section 94302A4 for the fence, and that repeat violation existed for a period of 34 days, so I'll assess a fine of $1,700 for that 30-day period at $50 per day. I'll also find based on the photographs and the testimony that the respondent's in violation of section 105.4.1 for the permit and require compliance within 45 days or a $50 a day fine for each day the violation continues thereafter. So make sure you stay in touch with the city on the permit matter, get it closed out and get it issued, or get
Absolutely.
it resolved within those 45 days so you don't face a fine.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Case number 11-1645, Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, 1200, CE 23080483. Number 11-1645, Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, 1200.
Good morning, Officer Levine in for Officer Don Williams. This business was cited for failure to obtain a business tax receipt. Service was accomplished by certified mail, and the business was also posted on 9/13/2023. The respondent is here, and I'll have her explain what was the holdup for not obtaining this business tax receipt. But what the city is requesting is 30 days to come into compliance, or one-time fee of $250.
Just a couple of questions for the record, and I know that this is Mr. Williams's case. Do you see an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit also indicate that the notice of violation was posted at City Hall?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. For the record, can you tell us what the name of the business is? Do you see that?
I will, I'm not sure how to pronounce the respondent's last name, so I'll have her do it for me. I really don't want to butcher anybody's name.
All right. And again, it was a function of this, they're late on their payment? or
No,
they
it's
didn't?
actually a business tax receipt that was not obtained prior to the business being at this location.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Just for the record, we would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, pop-up printout sheet, business tax information relied upon, emails, and any and all other documents in the case file.
And have they applied yet or no?
She's not able to apply because apparently she applied for an LLC. That is why I said I would let her explain.
Okay, so
the
there's more to the
situation.
story there. Okay. Your name, ma'am?
Amy Lee Quiles.
All right. So, and the name of your business is?
It's Rescripted Solutions.
Okay. And so what he's saying is there's an issue with your corporate entity? Is that why you're?
Yeah, so I was under the understanding that I had to have an LLC to get any other like business documents. So that's the process that I began. I do have proof of my receipt for the LLC and confirmation. I haven't received any information, so I have reached out to the email that's provided in Sunbiz asking like, how can I get an update? I still haven't heard anything. I have been in communication with Mr. Donald Williams, letting him know like I'm just waiting for that to proceed. So it's not negligence on my behalf. I'm just kind of waiting for the next steps.
So I just want to make sure I'm understanding you. You're in the process of establishing a legal corporate entity. Is that?
Yes. So
Okay.
I have proof here.
So before you were operating, you hadn't created your business through the Division of Corporations?
Correct, because at first when I leased out the office space, she said that it wasn't needed. Well, actually, we just got it. It was never requested. So when I got the notice, I did reach out to her, and she said that's not something that the building requires. It's something that the city requires. So I just, try to continue with the natural steps. So I'm just waiting, not because I don't want to get it.
When did you apply with the Division of Corporations?
September 5th.
Okay.
Can I interject for a moment? And you may have said it and I missed it. The name of the business that we're talking about.
Rescripted Solutions.
Rescripted Solutions. Is that what you have?
What he has is her name. I don't have Rescripted Solutions. And what it is she applied for an LLC under that name. She was cited under her name.
Okay, so she applied for a business tax receipt under the LLC name,
Yes.
but had,
No,
say
no,
it
no, no.
again? No.
She didn't have a business tax receipt. So Mr. Williams cited her under her name. She applied for an LLC and she's
Okay.
waiting on a
Very
response
good.
from the Department of Corporations.
Thank you, I just needed that clarification. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Do you have any idea from Division of Corporations how long it's?
I've been reaching out. I emailed them. Next Wednesday I have the day off, so I was going to go and see how I can kind of get some information, because normally I didn't think it'd be so hard to get in contact with somebody, but I haven't been able to get contact with anyone. I have proof of like emails and stuff, and my confirmation. I have my receipt.
Yeah, let me see that. If you could show what you have to the city attorney first, and then I'll take a look. And what kind of business is it?
It's a podcast.
Okay.
Oh, would you like me?
Any objection to this documentation being entered?
No objection, but I think we have a response.
Okay.
Mr. Levine, did you have a response to those documents?
Yeah, when I got the documentation from the respondent, I went across to check it and see if there was anything established in the system. And as of this morning, it has not been. This generally takes about 48 to 72 hours to be established. I'm not sure what took place here, so.
And just so I'm clear, if she gets the LLC of Rescripted Solutions LLC, the city will issue her a business tax
Yes,
in that name, and that will clear this code
as long as
violation?
it's approved by zoning, yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay. And it seems like you're 30 days into the queue, so it seems like the city's asking me to give you 30 days. It seems like you've already had your application in for 30 days, so hopefully it shouldn't take an additional 30 days, but I certainly can give you 30 days. You may want to ask, when you contact them, I think there's an expedited process too, so you may want to ask them.
I even did it online, which is supposed to be a faster matter
yeah.
of days. So but I emailed and there's nothing back. So I don't know if there's something else. When I called the number, it just tells you what's been processed, but it doesn't let you speak to someone. It just says it's backed up, and then it seems like my time has already passed, but I'm not able to get through to anyone. So on Wednesday, I really want to see if I could get some answers.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna grant the city's request. I'm gonna give you the 30 days. Hopefully, you won't need the entire 30 days, but
Thank you so
that
much.
way you have it in the event that you in fact do need it.
Thank you.
Anything further you'd like me to hear, ma'am?
And then once I get those documentations, where do I submit it? Do I just submit it to Mr. Donald Williams? Is there somewhere else that I submit it to?
No, you would submit it with your application for the business tax receipt.
Oh, so I'll just take everything and then is that on job?
I'll take you over
Okay, great.
when we're
Okay.
done here.
Okay. And then one quick question, do I still get fined or after the 30 days?
Yeah, no fine will be assessed until after the 30 days.
Okay.
So you get 30 days, no fines, and then if you're not finished on the 31st day, the fine would start.
Okay, thank you so much.
And what fine amount did you say, sir? You said a one-time fine of $250, right?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And but you don't want that assessed until the 31st day. Okay. So it's not like it's even a daily fine. It's just a one-time fine of $250.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
Don't forget to get these before you leave. But in case CE 23080483, thank you, ma'am. You're fine. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1. Ma'am, did you have any objection to the documents that you saw on the screen?
No, it was just no.
Okay, I'll enter those without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that you had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of city staff and the case file that the respondent is in violation of section 82-144 for failure to obtain a business tax receipt. I'll require a respondent to comply within 30 days or be assessed a one-time fine in the amount of $250 a day. Keep on the division of corporations. Try to get somebody on the phone. That is probably your best bet.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's taken so long also.
Yeah, you should, but 30 days, hopefully you'll be done long before that. But best of luck to you.
Okay, thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. Have a great one.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to skip over to other matters agenda for numbers 33, 34, and 39 through 85 for 3901 36th Court, Piper Ventures LLC, stipulated agreement.
Good morning, Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property at 3901 36th Court has been cited for numerous code violations for a fine totaling $4,364,400. As was stated, we do have a stipulated agreement in process to reduce the amount to $250,000 payable within 5 business days. Did you want to go down and list each case and what the reduction was?
I'll defer to the city on whatever your preference is. I don't think it's necessary. The stipulation has them all listed, so unless the
Gotcha.
city attorney wants them read, I'm fine with them not being read.
Alright.
And just rattle off, I didn't hear you on the numbers, the agenda numbers. It was what numbers?
I have numbers on the agenda is 33, 34, and then 39 through 85.
39 through 85, that was one I missed, thank you. All right. Your name, sir, for the record?
David Millage on behalf of the property owner.
Thank you, sir. So I have before me is fully executed stipulation agreement, and I have a proposed order adopting the stipulated agreement. Stipulated agreement has been signed by both the city and counsel for Piper Ventures LLC. Does the city want anything entered into the record for this case, or is the stipulation sufficient?
Just the stipulation is sufficient, thank you.
So the order adopting stipulated agreement requests that I make the following findings: that the parties stipulated agreement attached here to and incorporated herein as Exhibit A is hereby adopted as an order of the special magistrate. The parties are hereby ordered to comply with the terms of the stipulated agreement attached here to as Exhibit A, and it allows me to retain jurisdiction over this matter for a limited purpose of entering any and all further orders authorized by law. Anything further from you? The stipulated agreement is pretty clear. The parties have agreed to it, so I don't have any objection to issuing an order that adopts the stipulated agreement, but I just want to give you an opportunity if you have anything further.
No, it's been a long road. The property owner invested a lot into the property to bring it into compliance. It's been a long road. We've been working with staff for a long time now, and we appreciate everyone being able to get together and come to this resolution.
All right, anything further from the city?
No, thank you.
All right, so for the sake of brevity, I'm going to announce the order based on the agenda item numbers. So for cases listed on the agenda as 33 through 34 and 39 through 85, I'll enter an order adopting the stipulated agreement with the findings of fact that I specified and conclusions of law that I specified previously, and I'll go ahead and sign that order right now. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
If you want to have a
Thank
seat,
you,
I'll give you a
Magistrate.
copy in just a minute of it. Okay. Next case number 16 on the agenda, CE 230805511 for PCN 7442431211000011. That's number 16, CE 230805511.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer. This is a empty lot along Military. Zesty has not been addressed, so the PCN was cited 74424311211000011. Property was cited for swell maintenance and overgrowth approaching into sidewalk along Military. This was reset on September 19th. Certified mail and regular mail went out August 23rd and September 19th. The property, as well as City Hall, was reposted September 20th. I just want to give some background to this property. Like I said, it is an open lot that sits on Military between Cumberland and Logan. Can I say it's constantly overgrown. The last time I encountered this property, they did cut it, but now it's back overgrown again. The major portion is what runs along Military that I am getting a number of complaints from the residents, surrounding residents, that they cannot traverse down Military due to the overgrowth on this open lot. So they do have a willingness to cut it, because they have cut it in the past. but I don't know exactly what's going on now, why it's not being maintained. And it's been this way for quite some time now. We're getting into rainy season. Right now, the lot looks like a Sierra. I mean, I thought something was going to jump out of that overgrowth that's there. And I know they have a willingness to cut it because they cut portions of that lot and neglect military for some odd reason. And to me, the main portion that needs to be cut back and trimmed is along military because it's a main thoroughfare. So with that being said, city's recommending 15 days to bring the property into compliance, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, Officer McFarland. Just a couple of housekeeping questions. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
And the photographs that we reviewed, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the observations that you had about the property?
Yes, ma'am.
And with asking for 15 days, do you believe that that's a reasonable amount of time within which to bring these alleged violations into compliance?
At least enough time to at least get along military mode.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, the pop-up printout sheet, certified mailings, copies of the certified mailings, photographs, and I believe that's it. Thank you.
All right, good morning, sir. Your name for the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. Peter Bernhardt with the law firm of McDonald Hopkins. I represent the trustees of the David Minkin Florida Real Estate Trust.
All right, so what's going on with the mowing?
A few things, Your Honor. First of all, no objection to the submission of the evidence. We stipulate that the photographs are an accurate depiction of the current condition of the property. Second, for the record, I would like Your Honor to note that while the trustees are in fact a tenant in common at the property, for some reason their notice is not going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the other property owners who are also tenants in common. I checked the property appraiser's website last night before I came to this hearing. All of the deeds are there with the proper addresses for the owners of the property, so I would question whether or not Your Honor would consider proper service and due process here for all of the owners. That being said, we're not here to contest the violation. What I am here to tell you, Your Honor, is the violation is a product of litigation amongst the property owners. The property owners have initiated a partition action in federal court that is pending here in this district. The consequences of the disputes among the property owners, and I have the bank records here if Your Honor wants to see them. We have more than sufficient funds, as the officer well notes, that we have taken care of the property. This property has been owned by this family. I think it goes back into the 60s. Yeah, David Minkin was a founding father of this community. The Brigger tract, which is now Alton, was actually owned by David Minkin. So was Scripps. This is not a family that is not contributing to this city. What we have here is a dispute not with the city, but with JP Chase, which froze our bank account due to a know-thy customer that arose because JP Morgan was not aware of the multiple owners and the co-tenants of this property, and an unrelated property down in Miami, which produces the income that supports the vacant lands within Palm Beach County, including in Boynton and onto the Beeline Highway. So we simply beg for, I'm here to beg for leniency, nothing more. The $200 a day fine for 15 days seems completely reasonable.
Well, so just so you're clear, what he's asking me to give you is 15 days to comply. No fine would start until day 16.
Day
so,
6, fine.
right.
No fine, and we will comply within day 16. Last night, we resolved the issues as a source of funds outside the frozen bank accounts, so we can contact the Bush Hagen Company today and start the process of getting this done.
Okay. And Mr. McFarland, let me just ask you, one of the photos, it looks like they're mowing the main part of the lot, but they're stopping up by the side. Is
Yes,
that what's
ma'am.
going on?
You see what's going on.
Okay.
The Bush Hagen Company hasn't been there for
Quite some time.
Several months. We haven't been able to
Okay.
pay them.
Yeah, I mean, that's borderline cornfield now.
Yeah. Again, we completely respect the city and the city's need to enforce the code, and we will do our utter best to comply, and I hopefully will not need to be back here in 16 days.
Okay. If I could have the property appraiser printout put back up and hear the city's response to his assertion about notice.
Your Honor, if you like, I have my paralegal pulled the chain of title. I can give it to you, Your Honor. It shows the actual owners of the property and the dates of the deeds and the ownership interest.
Look at the screen just while it's up there. So it looks like all the entities that I think you're referencing are listed there.
Yeah, and the address is 44 Coconut Road, which is the address for exactly one owner.
Your Honor, notice was also sent to one of the LLCs that exists on that property appraisers as well. So I mean, we tried to notify everyone that sat on that property appraisers, but nevertheless, the property was posted as well. So
yeah, where I was headed is that you have all the entities listed there, but you have one mailing address for all of them. So if they're all different addresses, the property appraiser and the tax collector records need to be updated to reflect each individual address that you're requiring notice to, because by law they're only required to send it to the notice listed there.
So the only entity that I represent is the trust, which is the top line entity. If you look at your screen, that is the 44 Coconut Road.
Okay.
I'm pointing out to the court that sorry, too much time in court, to the magistrate, that you have a multitude of property owners here that are not getting notice. And there's filing the deeds. I looked at the deeds. The deeds have the addresses on them. So I'm not sure where the disconnect is.
Let me give the city attorney a chance to address that.
And actually, before I address that, if I could ask you, sir, when you say that you represent the trust.
I represent the trustees, ma'am.
Okay, I apologize, the trustees. So, based on the document that's up there, it's David Minkin Trust and Thal Family Partnership? Is that all one?
No.
No, it's just David Minkin Trust.
It's the David Minkin Florida Realty Trust.
Okay, that's the only one that you represent.
Correct, and the trustees would be Prescott Lester and Peter Lester. The former trustees were Howard Lester and Patricia Lester, and the former trustees before that was David Minkin.
Okay, thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would say that from a statutory standpoint, the notice went as per the statute, which is what the Property Appraiser's Office has as evidenced by the PAPA, website. I don't necessarily think that it's the city's responsibility to, make sure that all these other people contact, the Property Appraiser's Office to get their addresses up there. There's no affirmative duty, excuse me, to look further into those, to look further into the deeds. The way it's listed, it's listed that it's one particular owner at one particular address. So I would submit to you that there is good notice. There's been testimony here as to the certified regular posting at the property, posting at City Hall, and the affidavit of posting. I believe that the city has good notice.
And ma'am, I have absolutely no standing to object to the notice as to the other owners. And obviously the trust got notice. I'm here.
It worked, right.
I'm also committing the trust will take the responsibility for cleaning the property, and we'll get it done. I was pointing that out merely for your records.
I appreciate that. Yes, sir, I appreciate that. And I would, just so you're aware, I would tend to agree if that's not the intent of the co-owners or co-tenants, that needs to be addressed with the property appraiser's office, because as she said, by law, they're required to send to the mailing address on file with the tax collector or the property appraiser. The way that the property appraiser printout looks, they're all getting mail at the same address. So that, if that's not the desire of the parties, that should get changed with the respective county offices. So I'm going to find good service there, because I agree that the statute has been complied with based on what I'm looking at in terms of documentation. Is 15 days, is that enough for you to get your folks out there?
I would prefer 30, only because I don't know the schedule of the bush hogging company. But again, I'm not here to quibble with the inspector, and I'm not here to quibble with Your Honor. If 30 is a possibility, I certainly know my client would appreciate that.
Yeah, my concern is you're getting close. I mean, based on the photos from 10-2, you're getting close to health, safety, welfare. So I think 15 days is more than enough time to get it done. I would encourage you to get it done even faster than that. Otherwise, they based on the 10-2 photos, they could cite you for health, safety, welfare based on the height of that grass, and they could abate the violation. They'll come back and get an immediate cure for the mowing. So I think 15 days is plenty of time.
Understood.
Usually they can mobilize within 7. So I'm going to grant the city's request there, because I think the height of it, the September photos are not that bad, but the October photos are, that's questionable, and that's a little bit alarming for people who are walking down that sidewalk. So I think I would encourage you to get that done within as fast as you can, but certainly no later than the 15 days. Anything further from the city?
That's it, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything further from you, sir?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, in case CE 23080511, I'm going to enter the city's evidentiary case file without objection by respondents. I'm going to find, based on the affidavit of posting, that you have good service for this morning's hearing. I'm going to find the respondents are in violation of section 7894C and 744C3. I'm going to require respondents to comply within 15 days or face a $200 a day fine for each day the violation continues.
Case number 28-1027 19th Street, CE 230805547, number 28-1027 19th Street.
Mr. Magistrate, I advised the respondents to leave because it was going to be time frame and they had something else to do. So you could put me back on the regular agenda if you like, or I can proceed whatever you like.
So they're not back yet?
No, they're not back.
Okay.
Next case number 20-611 51st Street, CE 230804442, number 20-611 51st Street.
City of West Music Code Compliance, Robert Watkins. This property was cited on August 14th, certified mails on August 15th, certified mails received. Property with City Hall was posted August 15th. This property was cited for trash and debris, maintaining of landscape, unpaved parking, and excessive growth. As of yesterday, the only item that came into compliance was the trash and debris. With this, the city was requesting 15 days or $100 per day after. Here with the property owner, my first time having correspondence with him this morning, just out in the hallway.
So you said 18106A complied, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, Officer Watkins. Just a couple of questions, please. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
Photographs that we're reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes.
And for the remaining violations or alleged violations, can you please tell us for the record what it is you observed?
There's just overgrowth right there that grows into the sidewalk, so you can't really navigate, especially if you're in a wheelchair or something, down the sidewalk due to the overgrowth. On both sides of the property, east and the west side, there's overgrowth as well. It seemed to be an area that was cut going in front, but as far as to the east and west side of the property, it's still overgrown.
And then, is there still 94-482 parking?
Yes, there's a trailer that's parked on the east side of the property, that's parked in the grass area, and the west end on the east side of the property.
Okay, so are we seeing one?
Yeah, that was
the truck
commercial
or the
truck.
truck
It
and
wasn't
the
there,
trailer?
and then it was there, so I'm not sure if they lived there or they were
Okay.
coming, delivering. But in another image, you'll see it on on the west side of the door, of the property, yep, right there, there's
Okay.
another trailer. That
Okay.
one's usually there.
Okay. And when was your last inspection of the property?
Yesterday,
And we're still seeing that there?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. And do you believe that 15 days is a reasonable amount of time within which to bring these alleged violations into compliance?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, photographs, certified mailing documents. Thank you.
Thank you. Your name, sir, for the record?
Michael Sawney,
And your relation to the property owners?
I'm the eldest son.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And just for the record, that's for Ira and Leslin Sawney that you're here on behalf of, correct?
My dad is recently deceased, so.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay,
Yes,
thank you. And your mom knows you're here to take care of the case?
yes.
Okay, very good, thank you.
All right, so you heard what the city's code officer said. Any response? Are you in process with taking care of the
Yes.
complying the violations?
I'm in 100% agreement. I had some recent issues. I'm a retired veteran, just been diagnosed with PTSD and some other issues. So I'm going through the process of being certified disabled. I have vertigo, so I can't bend down. The problem is that trailer belongs to a friend of my sister's who got permission from her, not from me, to put that thing there. I have been calling him like maybe every 2 weeks to tell him remove it, but he changes the subject and ignores me. Yesterday I finally got on the phone and I hammered him down to, I need this here to be taken away because I'm going to court tomorrow, which is today. And he comes up with another excuse. Oh, I'm actually sick right now, so I'll move it on the weekend. I don't know if the weekend will come and it's going to be gone. All I could do is keep pressing him on it. I don't have an address for him. I've asked some of his colleagues. They don't have an address for him. I would physically go to the address and tell him, come with me and move it now, but I can't. I don't know where he lives. So I'll keep working on the trailer. I've had 2 landscape companies come and actually cut the lawn in August and September. Again, they haven't cut the sidewalk overgrowth. I'll just, next time they come, I'll make sure they cut it because I'm paying them, but it's like they're not doing the full job. They're doing partial. And that's been frustrating to me because I'm not there when they're doing the job. Even as a disabled veteran, I'm volunteering at a food bank every day. That's where I should be right now. The large white truck is actually a food truck where I could go and pick up food and bring it to the agency to give it to families who are in need of food. So that's why you see that white big truck there. It's actually a work truck.
And just so he's clear, is the big truck allowed to be there or not?
No, it's a commercial vehicle. It's not supposed to be a residential, but when I originally cited it, it wasn't
It
there.
wasn't there. That's
So
what I thought I
it
heard you
comes and
say.
goes, so I thought maybe it was a delivery or something like that, so I wanted to say.
So that wasn't part of your violation?
Yes, it
Okay.
wasn't a
But just so
problem.
you know, sir, that big truck can't stay there, so.
We realize that.
Okay.
The problem we're having is that truck, which was donated to us by a very wealthy family from Delray Beach, it has been broken into twice at our compound. And that's why the executive director said, can you keep it at your property there? Because it's been broken into twice, and we're afraid. We are now contracted with the city to actually build a fence to enclose our property so that the truck could now be there.
It's secure, yeah.
So
okay.
we have a plan to address the truck not being
Okay,
on
yeah, I
that
just
truck.
wanted you to understand, just so that it's not part of this case this morning, but just know
Yeah.
that could be a problem going forward.
Just for the future, it will be, once we've fenced off our compound,
the truck will no longer be there.
How often does your landscape company come? Do they come once a week, every other week?
Right now they're coming once a month. I'm trying to get them to come more often because it's been rainy and the grass grows faster. But I keep getting excuses, oh, I have other jobs, or I'll come next week, and then they'll show up. I'm constantly tracking them down and saying, hey, I need this to be, but they give me the excuse that we have a lot of jobs, and it's, so.
So
I
can you
would
scroll
do it
back down to that
myself.
photo? Did it get mowed yesterday? Was it
No, I was there yesterday, and the front section was cut, but
just the front? Okay.
the west section and on the sidewalk, the foliage that overgrows the palm that are there,
It's
none of
not,
that
still
had
not
been cut.
addressed, okay. So what you need to do, sir, is you need to get in touch with your landscape company and get them to come back out and address, because the overtaking of the sidewalk is problematic.
I have, yeah.
So yeah, get on the phone with them and get them to come back and address those issues.
I've spoken to the landscape person yesterday
Okay.
to tell them, in fact, they approached me and said, oh, yeah, I have to come back and do it.
And
So
now you
they're-
can
they're-
use, now I guess it's a double-edged sword, but the good news is you can now say you've come to your code enforcement hearing and you have to have this done by a certain date, and that will incentivize people to come help you by the time that you need.
I even showed them this and told them, hey, because of you guys, I have to
You're
now
coming to
go
code,
court.
yeah.
You need to follow up because I'm paying them to do this. I
Right,
would do it myself, but I'm disabled. I
okay.
don't want, with the vertigo, I don't want to get out there and bend down because
And have trouble, yeah.
it's over.
Do you have any objection, the documentation that's been scrolling on the screen, you got the notice, obviously you're here this morning. Do you have any objection to the photographs and the documentation being entered into the record?
No objections. Your
Okay, thank you. Anything further, sir?
No, other than just I'll get it into compliance. I've been trying my best. I've been away. I went to the VA in Colorado, so that's one of the reasons why I wasn't here for a while. And when I came back and I saw it had grown and the person didn't come to cut it.
And things are getting worse because it's been raining so much, especially last week. It's going to get even worse
I've
with all
been
the rain that
fighting
you've
with
had.
that person. Every day I tell them, you need to cut the grass. Oh, yeah, we know, but I have another job, or I'll be there. And that's with two different companies.
Yeah. Well, now you'll have an order you can show them and try to compel them to come
I
and
would do
address it sooner.
myself. I almost thought about buying a lawnmower and just mowing it myself, but I know I'll be putting myself at physical risk because of my disability. And I just twisted my knee on Sunday, so that's why I'm hobbling around with this.
Probably better left to the landscaper then, probably. All right, anything further from the city? 15 days is what you're requesting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anything further from you, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, sir. In case CE 23080442, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that service is good for this morning's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs and the testimony that the respondent's in violation of sections 18106M, 94482A, and 18106B, and I'll require a respondent to comply within 15 days or face a $100 a day fine for each day thereafter. Best of luck to you, sir. Keep on your landscape company and keep on your trailer tenant, and hopefully it'll all get resolved within 15 days.
Hopefully by this weekend.
Very
Now,
good, sir.
Is there a fine right now?
No, sir. You have 15 days, so make sure it gets all done before 15 days is lapsed, and no fine until that time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good luck.
Number 28, 1027 19th Street, CE 23080547. Number 28, 1027 19th Street.
Magistrate, I need to be sworn in also, please.
Thank you. Could you raise your right hand for me? And I'll swear these folks in as well. Sir, let him get to the podium. Sir, can you raise your right hand for me?
Yeah.
Sir? Sir?
I have a difficult.
Okay.
Because of the hospital, I fell on it.
Do the best you can with your hand. Yeah, do the best you can with your hand down there. Do you all swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
Good morning, Officer Underwood, City West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property, 1027 19th Street, was initially cited August 28th. Certified mail was sent out August 29th. City Hall and the property were posted August 31st, and certified mail was returned August 31st. This property was cited for clean and sanitary conditions, excessive growth, and outdoor storage. I have been in contact with the property owner and his helper, and they are in the process of getting stuff cleaned up and removed. The resident is a scrapper, and he keeps all of his stuff there and has cleaned out quite a bit of it. He still has a little bit more to go to get everything out of sight, cleaned up, removed. So the city's requesting an additional 30 days or $50 a day thereafter.
Did you say 50?
50.
Okay, thank you very much. Just a couple of housekeeping questions. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, there is.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations you've observed at the property?
Yes, they do.
And with respect to the record, can you just please tell us what it is that you've observed?
So in front of the property from the road, you can see all the scrap metal and stuff that he collects and whatnot to recycle it, to get some money from it. It's being stored in the driveway, the grass, in the walkway, all that stuff. Most of that stuff has already been removed if you look at the other pictures. He did have some overgrowth as far as the bushes and that tree that was in the sidewalk, which has been trimmed. They still have a couple spots that need to be finished trimming along the side of the house, which I spoke with his helper yesterday and explained the couple of things that he needed to do just to tidy it up a little bit more. So requesting 30 additional days seems fair.
Okay. And so the 18106A clean and sanitary is part and parcel of this outdoor storage that's occurring as well?
Correct.
Okay, very good. And you believe that 30 days is a reasonable amount of time to finish removing and cutting back the
Correct.
weeds and stuff?
Yes,
okay.
I do.
All right, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including the notice of violation, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout sheet, and photographs. And then we would just need the gentleman to indicate how he's related to the owner of record and whether he has authority to be here. He's just not listed on the agenda.
Your name, sir?
Rudolph Stewart.
Rudolph Stewart. Who's Christina E. Stewart?
That's my wife.
Okay. Does she know you're here? Do you own the house too, or
Sorry?
are you here on her behalf? Is she aware that you're at the hearing?
Yes.
Okay.
His name's on the property appraiser as well.
Oh, it is. Okay. Thank you. So, sir, you've heard what the code officer said. He says you're making progress toward removing the items that need to be removed. He's willing to give you 30 days.
Yes.
That seems like you've made quite a bit of progress. So, you understand what still needs to be done?
Yes.
Okay. And you can get that done in 30 days?
Hopefully.
Okay. All right. The documents for today's hearing have been scrolling on the screen. Do you have any objection to the paperwork being entered?
If I don't, I've been in and out of the hospital. As long as I'm out of the hospital, I could continue.
You can continue working on it? Okay. Any objection to the documents being entered into the record?
No.
The photographs? Okay, thank you, sir. Anything else you'd like me to hear, sir?
No, ma'am.
No?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. Anything further from the city?
No, ma'am.
Okay. In case CE 23080547, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as Composite Exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that you had good service for this morning's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs and testimony that the respondent is in violation of Section 18106B, 9471C, and 18106A. And I'll require a respondent to comply within 30 days or face a $50 a day fine. For each day the violation continues thereafter. So just, sir, be sure you have all the items addressed by 30 days, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all we have for contested matters at this time. Next case number 1 on the agenda, 425 45th Street, CE 230800519.
Good morning. Sandy Mills Code Compliance Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. Property address 425 45th Street was cited on August 24, 2023. Service was accomplished by certified mail sent on August 24, 2023. Certified mail was signed for on September 26, 2023. In addition, both the property and City Hall were posted on September 22, 2023. I have been in contact with the property owner. The property was cited for having open areas in both on the landscape and the swale, as well as not having a certificate of use and a rental license. As of this morning, the property is partially complied. The landscape area has been resolved. There has been sod added. However, the property owner is still having issues getting the certificate of use and rental license with the city due to they bought the property under a different LLC and it's not meshing up with the state license that they have because it's a short-term rental. So the city is asking for an additional 45 days to get compliance and $150 a day if compliance is not achieved.
I'm sorry, how many days did you say?
45.
45. And 150?
That's correct.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Just a couple of housekeeping matters. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
There is.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
It does.
And the photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent, it looks like hand delivery there of the notice, correct? And was that hand delivery to one of the owners or someone else?
That was actually the consultant of the owner, but he was on the phone at the time with the owner.
Okay, very good. And I think I saw a copy of a, like an Airbnb or some type of a rental.
That's correct, the ad that they have listed.
Okay, and obviously the owner doesn't object or didn't otherwise deny that they were owning as you testified about the
That's
LLC
correct.
issue. Okay.
They didn't object and they just requested more time to get everything fixed with the paperwork.
Okay, and do you believe that 45 days is a reasonable amount of time within which to bring these alleged violations into compliance?
I do, because they're currently working on it.
Thank you very, very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, the pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, affidavit of posting, photographs, the rental internet printout advertisement, and any and all emails or written communications in the file.
All right, and just so I'm clear, did both the landscape sections comply?
Both, yes.
Both did. Okay, very good. All right, with that, in case CE 230805119, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1. I'll find based on the signed certified mailing as well as the affidavit of posting that you had good service for this morning's hearing. I'll find based on the case file and the testimony that the respondent's in violation of section 2232A and 22441, and I'll require compliance within 45 days, or $150 a day fine will accrue for each day thereafter.
Number 2, 3001 Spruce Avenue, CE 230104343.
Good morning, Alex Oliver, Code Officer for the City of West Palm. This property was cited on April 26, 2023. Certified mail was sent on April 27, 2023. Both property and City Hall were posted on May 15th, 2023. I have been in contact with the owner of the property, and an affidavit of posting has been added to the case. This property was cited for 94305E, visibility triangle. As of this morning, property has not come into compliance, so the city is asking for an additional 30 days to come into compliance, or $150 a day if compliance is not achieved.
Thank you. Does the affidavit of posting reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
The photographs that we're reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you have observed?
Yes.
And could you tell us for the record what it is that you've observed that you believe leads this to alleged violations?
Okay, so originally this case was started by Officer Francis back in 2022. When the zone was not with an assigned officer back then. When I took over last year, Officer Francis provided me all the information from the owner, and I took over. So on January 26, I think I cited the property originally. That's what the case is. It starts with an 01. But I had no contact with them until April. So in April, they contacted me and explained to me that the property was grandfathered in because it was owned by the previous mayor. So it's like, okay, this is weird. I inquired all over the place, and I postponed the hearing until today, and posted the property again on May 15th. So I met with them multiple times, and they kept saying that there was an exception, there was something else. I couldn't find anything of that sort anywhere. So as of this morning, I actually met with him again on a meeting, neighborhood meeting on August 26th, and I explained to him the reason behind the code, which is, to have visibility to avoid accidents, and in case of an accident, either the city or him will be liable because that's not.
And to obtain that visibility, it's your contention that they would have to further cut down, remove,
Yes.
lower something, those shrubs that we're seeing in the pictures, correct?
Exactly. So like the bushes are like 12 feet, almost 14 feet high, and he's claiming that it's been like that forever. So that's why I added pictures from property appraisal dating back to 2005, and back then you could see that the bushes were actually much lower. So I couldn't get him to comply. So as of this moment, that they're not in compliance. So that's
okay.
why. Yeah.
And do you believe that 30 days is a reasonable amount of time within which to bring these alleged violations into compliance?
They already had 10 months, so yes, 30 days should be enough. Yeah.
But
yeah, it should be fine.
If the magistrate were to give this case 30 days today,
yes,
is that enough time?
yes, and the reason why we gave him so much time is because I know if you cut him right away, it will shock the bushes. That's why I gave him enough time, but he didn't care. So it's like, at this point, they need to redesign the whole corner, either trim the bushes or redesign the whole thing. So.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anything further?
No, that.
Okay.
That's all.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout sheet, photographs, and we also saw some written communications in there too. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me just ask one clarification. I only heard you say 94305E, but there's some other code sections listed on the agenda. Are those?
Which other code section?
744C4 and 781.
Oh, that was the original on May on what's it called, on January. When I recited again, they had already taken care of all that.
So those are not at issue.
So
just 94305E.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but by the second time I posted the property, all that was complied. Yeah.
Okay. And on the photo, so they can't just lower the height of the hedge, right? The corner piece needs to be removed. Is that
so
compliance?
From the corner of the sidewalk in, there has to be 20 feet from each side, like the graphics show.
Right.
So, and any trees that are in that
25 foot area.
25 foot quarter circle, they need to be at least, at maximum height is 8 foot. So all the trees that are in there, it has to be trimmed 8 foot high, and then everything that's bush or plants or plant material has to be 18 inches high.
Okay.
So.
And that visibility triangle, that's a safety code,
Yes, that's
right?
a safety for traffic and everything.
All right, anything further from the city?
No.
All right, in case CE 2301-0343, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that you have good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of the city code officer as well as the evidentiary case file that the respondent's clearly in violation of section 94305E for the hedge that violates the required visibility triangle. I'll require compliance within 30 days or $150 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter.
Number 3, 1449 39th Street, CE 23080423.
Good morning. Raphael Forrester, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on 7/19/23. Service was accomplished by certified mail and regular mail sent on 8/18/23. Certified mail was returned on 9/15/23. In addition, both the property and the City Hall was posted on 8/17/23. There is an affidavit posting in the case. I have been in contact with the property owner. 18-106N, the pool for not being clear of pollutants. 78-94-C for the swell, grass more than 6 inches. 18-106-K, the landscape pretty much was not maintained. And 18-106B, excessive grass and weeds throughout the whole property. As of this morning, it has not come in compliance. Work has been started as of 10/2, which was Monday, but we're asking for an additional 30 days to come in compliance, and if they don't, $100 a day until compliance is completed.
Thank you very much. The photographs that we're reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes.
With regard to the pool and spa, I just haven't seen a photograph of that yet.
There's a different photograph that's labeled pool.
Okay.
That had a different fencing section that I couldn't get to at the initial time of when I took the initial pictures, but then I was able to get back on the property once the work started, and that's how the pool looked like at that time.
Okay, and is there any concern that there's not the proper barrier or latching?
Oh, it's fenced in twice. There's
Okay.
two fences.
Okay. And just with a little bit more testimony with respect to the swales and parkway, landscape maintenance, and excessive growth. We certainly saw a lot of photographs where it looked like the grasses were overgrown. Are you concerned about, other than basically the grass, was there something else?
Well, the overgrowth is actually throughout the whole property and the back. Neighbors were complaining about snakes coming out from the back, so that's the back right there, that picture there. So as of right now, they're working on it diligently, so I'm okay with the 30 days for it.
Okay, and with the pool, they just have to, I don't know what the proper term is, to make the water clear and
shock it.
Shock it, okay. 30 days a reasonable amount of time to do all this?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Thank you. Just so I'm clear on the grass, it looks like the recent photos, looks like they did do quite a bit of cutting, but they're not totally done, is that right?
They're not done.
Okay. So nothing has complied. Everything
No.
is still outstanding as of today?
Correct.
Okay, very good. All right, in case CE 2308-0423, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that you had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs and the testimony of city staff that the respondents are in violation of 18106N, 7894C, 18106K, and 18106B. And I'll require respondents to comply within 30 days or $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter.
Number 4 is complied, 914 30th Court, CE 23090638. Number 5, 1060 36th Street, CE 23080523.
Good morning, Jay Francis, West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 1060 36th Street was cited on 8/24/23.
Certified and regular mail was sent on 8/25/23. Both the property and City Hall were posted on 9/20/23. An affidavit of posting was attached to the case. I have not been in contact with this owner at all. The property was cited for excessive growth and fence repair. As of yesterday, the excessive growth violation has complied, but the fence repair violation is still pending. Therefore, the city is requesting an additional 30 days for the property to come into compliance. If they do not come into compliance, then the city is asking for 50 days until compliance is achieved.
$50?
$50, I'm sorry.
50?
Yes.
Okay, you're saying 50, okay. Thank you. Couple of questions. The photographs that we're reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you observed?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you please tell us for the record what it is about the fence or wall maintenance that you believe is a violation?
You have a couple loose slabs right in the front part of the fence right here.
Okay, so we're looking at a red?
Yeah, a red fence with a couple loose slabs in there.
Okay, those slats are in disarray. And is that, just for the record, is that in the front of the property?
Yes,
beside?
that's the very front on 36th Street.
Very good, thank you. You believe 30 days is a reasonable amount of time within which to bring this alleged violation into compliance?
Yes, a few nails and a couple 2x4s, and should be fine.
So they don't even need a permit?
No, just a repair.
Just repair.
Yes.
Okay, very good, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
All right, thank you. In case CE 23080523, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that you have good service for this morning's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs and testimony of the city code officer that the respondent's in violation of section 94302A4 for the condition of the fence, and I'll require a respondent to comply within 30 days or face a $50 a day fine for each day that the violation continues.
Number 6 is complied, 736 Tuscaloosa Street, CE 23080587. Number 7, 1020 Francis Street, CE 23080508.
Good morning. Richard Pesmino, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited on August 22nd. Certified mail was sent out August 23rd, and it was received on August 29th. In addition, the property and City Hall were both posted on August 23rd. The affidavit of posting was completed and turned into clerical for processing and attachment to the case. On that affidavit, it is indicated that notice of violation, notice of hearing was also sent via first-class mail. This property was cited for unpaved parking, expired rental license, overgrowth, specifically the weeds and grass exceeding 6 inches, clean and sanitary. That's for the driveway, walkways, dirty and stained. Excessive growth, that's everything else, including trees, bushes, overgrown flora, and expired certificate of use. I have had no contact with the tenants or the owners of the property or any maintenance companies. As of Monday, the grass was cut, but all violations still exist except for the unpaved parking that has been corrected. The rental license is still delinquent. The property is still in that unsanitary condition with stained driveway and walkways. So the only violation complied is 94-482A. The overgrowth still exists. The grass was cut, like I said, but the overgrowth is still there. There's the trees and bushes still overgrown in the front yard, and under it, the grass wasn't cut. The city's recommending 30 additional days to comply with the remaining violations, or we are asking for a $100 a day fine until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes.
And with respect to the rental license and COU. You say it's delinquent. Can you please tell us for
Yes.
the record how you know it's being rented?
Yes, I looked up in Community Plus the rental license, and it expired as of 9/30/2022. There's multiple vehicles parked at the property, different people. As I posted, it looks like it's a bunch of different college students, and I don't it is a rental unit.
Do you happen to know if a utility bill or anything is in a different name than the owner?
I can't remember off the top of my head right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But otherwise, you're seeing you've observed this property multiple times
Yeah.
before being here, and you are seeing a lot significant activity with regard to cars that come and go,
Yeah.
people that come and go. I think
Yeah,
you
people
said you
come
saw
and go.
people.
Multiple vehicles coming and going. They did have a vacation rental license. That was on the rental license as well.
Is that still? Is anything?
That's part of it, and that's the delinquent part of it as well.
Okay.
Short-term rental.
Okay. So basically, everything for the city with regard to their rental license is delinquent.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, thank you. Do you believe 30 days is a reasonable amount of time within which to bring these alleged violations into compliance?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Thank you. In case CE 23080508, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that you had good service for this morning's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs and the testimony of the city code officer that the respondents are in violation of sections 22441, 744C3, 18106A, 18106B, and 2232A. I'll require respondents to comply within 30 days or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter.
Number 8739 K Street, CE 23080559.
Richard Pazmino, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited on August 29th. Certified mail was sent out August 30th. It was received on September 6th. In addition, the property and City Hall were both posted on August 29th. The affidavit of posting was completed and turned in to be processed and attached to this case. On that affidavit, it was indicated that the notice of violation and notice of hearing was also sent via first-class mail. This property was cited and was received via complaint from the tenant, and it was cited for multiple violations, one of them being conditions of structure equipment. There was the kitchen sink was not working. The landscaping of the parkways was missing ground cover. Unsanitary conditions, specifically the sidewalks being washed out and covered with dirt. The ceiling right above the front door inside of the house was caved in. There's a huge hole and like a water leak. That was the main complaint that drove me to the property and to cite the property. Exterminate. There's signs of rodents in the house. Landscape areas must be grassed. The front yard. There's bare dirt areas all over the front yard that need grass, ground cover. Conditions of the structure: toilet, bathroom, kitchen floors. The bathroom tub needs to be sealed and caulked. And condition of the structures: the exterior doors need weather stripping and sealed, and a front window needs to be repaired. It's broken and cracked. I have had contact with the property management company. We went over all the violations at the time and what must be done to comply each violation. I was copied in an email between the owner and the property management with their plan to fix the violations. As of this Monday, the only violation that has been fixed is the code section 18103I for the kitchen sink. It has been fixed and is working. There has been some progress, a little bit, I would say, with the extermination. They got an exterminator out there, but I have not received a report, extermination report, which I did request. With that being said, the city's recommending 60 additional days to comply all the remaining violations, or the city's requesting a $100 a day fine until all violations are brought into compliance.
Thank you very much. The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed?
Yes, they do.
And just for the record, some of those photographs on the inside, are they all your photos or any from the tenant?
Those are all my photos.
Very good. Thank you very much. And do you believe that 60 days is a reasonable amount of time within which to bring these alleged violations into compliance?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, sunbiz sheet that we just briefly saw, certified mailing documents, photographs, and also the email testified to. Thank you.
Thank you. And you said the 18103I is totally complied, is that
Yes,
right?
that one's complied. That was the kitchen sink. It was repaired.
Okay. I just want to make sure nothing else besides the sink was underneath that code
Only that
section.
one. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. In case CE 23080559, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that you had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs and testimony of city staff that the respondents are in violation of sections 94442E, 18106A, 18103C, 18106E, 94442C1, 18103H, and 18103E. And I'll require a respondent to comply within 60 days or face a $100 a day fine for each day the violation continues until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 9, 3038 Safflower Circle, CE 23070236.
Good morning once again, Officer Levine, City of West Palm Beach Code. This property was cited for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. Certified mail was returned. Both the property and City Hall was posted on 8/18/2023. There isn't an application in the system for a license, nor have I had contact with the property owner. City's requesting 30 days to come into compliance or $200 a day thereafter.
It was a little hard to hear you during part of that. You said that an application is?
No, there isn't an
Is not,
no.
okay. And I think we saw very brief, there we go, an advertisement for rental. Is this the subject property?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you know approximately when you accessed that advertisement for rent?
That advertisement was accessed back in July, but there is as recent as this morning, where we see a price reduction, and there should be a photograph attached to it. Yesterday, I went back in and checked it again.
So it's still for rent, just
It's
a little
still
bit
for
less?
rent, as of probably about 20 minutes ago.
Okay. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
And does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you believe that 30 days is a reasonable amount of time?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, photographs, as well as copies of the advertisements printed from the website, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Thank you. In case CE 23070236, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1. Without objection, I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that you had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of city staff and the documents in the evidentiary case file that the respondents are in violation of section 22441 and 2232A. And I'll require respondents to comply within 30 days or face a fine of $200 a day for each day that the violation continues thereafter until compliance is achieved.
Number 10, 225 Beverly Road, CE 23070249.
This property too was cited for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. Certified mail was signed for on July 21st, 2023. Both the property and City Hall was posted on 8/15/2023. This property does have an application in the system. However, when I went to do the inspection, the property owner declined the inspection and said she was going to take the property off the market and put it up for sale. I indicated to the property owner that I was going to send an email with an application for a certification of non-rental, which she assured me that she was going to fill out. She also assured me that the realtor was going to take down the listing from the MLSs, which as of yesterday and this morning, it has not been done. The property is still listed as a rental property. So the city is requesting 30 days to come into compliance or $200 a day thereafter.
Thank you very much. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
And does the affidavit reflect, I'm sorry, that the notice of violation was also posted, sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
And I believe that there was a photograph of posting. That's an accurate photograph of the posting of this notice of violation at this property, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you told us about the advertisements that you've accessed on the website that is being rented, the application, and just again for the record, you've not received any affidavit of non-rental
No,
to this
ma'am.
point,
No,
and
ma'am.
those advertisements remain up. And do you believe 30 days is a reasonable amount of time?
Absolutely. All she needs is the inspection.
Okay, thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, photographs, the website advertisements for rent, the rental application, and emails and written communications. Thank you.
Thank you. In case CE 23070249, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that you had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of city staff as well as the documents in the evidentiary case file that the respondents are in violation of section 22441, 2232A, and require respondents to comply within 30 days, or a $200 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter until compliance is achieved.
Number 12, 1645 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, 1200, Business of Anatomy Angel Wellness LLC, CE 23080485.
Officer Levine and for Officer Don Williams. This business was cited for failure to obtain a business tax receipt. The business and City Hall was posted on 9/13/2023. As of this morning, there wasn't an active application in the system for this business, so the city is requesting 30 days or a one-time fee of $250.
Okay, thank you. I might have missed what you said. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes, ma'am.
And does the affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by certified mail and regular mail?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And just for the record, we're talking about Anatomy Angel Wellness LLC. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I guess, do you have any evidence or reason to believe that this is not a business that's open and ongoing, and anything to say that they're out of business, anything to say that they're...
There's nothing to suggest that they are out of business.
Okay.
As you know, Officer Williams posted it on 9/13, so, and there hasn't been, to my knowledge, any contact with regards to obtaining a business tax receipt.
Thank you. 30 days a reasonable amount of time?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, photograph of posting, and any written communications.
Thank you. And did you say on the fine, did you say a one-time fee?
One-time fee of $250, yes.
Okay. Thank you. In case CE 23080485, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that you had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the evidentiary case file as well as testimony of city staff that the respondent's in violation of section 882-144, I'll require respondents to comply within 30 days or assess a one-time fee of $250.
Number 13, 1645 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, 1200, business of 3 Angles Consulting, Inc., CE 230800472.
Officer Levine for Officer Don Williams. This business too was cited for failure to obtain a business tax receipt. Notice was sent via certified mail and first class mail. The business and City Hall was posted on 9/13/2023. As of this morning, there isn't an active application in the system for a BTR. The city is requesting 30 days or one-time fee of $250.
And again, just to clarify, the application is submitted or is not?
There isn't.
Is not, okay. Thank you. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes, ma'am.
And we are talking about 3 Angles Consulting, Inc., correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And is there any evidence that that business is not an open and active business?
It is an active business.
Okay, that's what you see in the file because
According
it's
to
Mr.
Officer Williams, it is an active business.
Oh, okay. And 30 days a reasonable amount of time?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, and photo of posting.
Thank you. In case CE 23080472, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that you had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony and evidentiary case file that the respondent's in violation of section 82144, and I'll require a respondent to comply within 30 days or face a one-time fee of $250.
Thank you.
Number 14, 307 Third Way, CE 230800539.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. The property at 307 Third Way was cited for rental license violation and certificate of use. Property was cited August 28th. Certified mail as well as regular mail went out August 28th. The property as well as City Hall was posted September 20th. I've been in contact with this property owner. Recently submitted an application for a rental license, but we can't seem to get an inspection done on this property. I've left several messages, emails. When I posted the property, he finally paid the fees, but he refuses to contact me. I don't know what else to do but to send a notice out to get his ears to perk up here so we can get this done. When we did have a conversation, his intent was to rent the property, but I've called the number on file several times. I've sent in emails, but I can't seem to make contact. So with that being said, city's recommending 30 days to get the inspection completed and passed and rental license issued, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you very much. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And just wondering if we have an actual photograph of posting, even though you already testified. Perfect,
Voila.
thank you. Thank you very much. That's a photograph of this notice of violation for this property, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. 30 days a reasonable amount of time?
If he would just pick up the phone, we've been done already.
Thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, photograph, emails and attachments, the documents that are in the file, and the application.
Thank you. And just so I understood, you're asking for 30 days for issuance of both the certificate and the rental license, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to specify the inspection, or is that's just part of it? Right?
Yes, I want to specify the inspection.
Okay, very good. In case CE 23080539, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that you had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the evidentiary case file and the testimony of city staff that respondents in violation of section 2232A and 22441. I'll require respondents to comply by having the required inspections completed and having the certificate of use and rental license issued within 30 days, or a $200 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violation continues until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 17, 714 55th Street, CE 23080430.
Robert Watkins, City of West Beach Code Compliance. This property was cited on August the 10th. Certified mail was sent August the 10th. Certified mail was received on the 11th. Property was cited August 17th. This property was cited for a permit for shutters, excessive growth, landscape maintenance, and trash can placement. As of yesterday, all violations were still present and out of compliance. The city is requesting additional 20 days at $100 per day after.
Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
Was the notice of violation posted at the property?
Yes, it was.
Was the notice of violation posted at City Hall?
Yes, it was.
And I believe we're about to see photographs. The photographs that we're going to review, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed?
Yes.
And can you please tell us for the record what it is that you've observed?
Excessive overgrowth all over the property. The trash can is on the curb continuously. No one ever moves. I don't think anyone's there. The recycle bins are also in front, a part of the trash can garbage recycling bins, to say the least. And the shutters that are closed in the front, there is no permit for them whatsoever.
Okay, thank you. Have you had any contact with the owner or anybody representing the owner?
No.
And have you seen any progress of any kind?
None at all.
Okay. Do you believe 20 days is a reasonable amount of time within which to bring these alleged violations into compliance?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up sheet, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Can I see that the affidavit of posting one more time? Okay, you posted on August 16th. Okay. All right, in case CE 23080430, enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that you had good service for this morning's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs and testimony of the city code officer that the respondent's in violation of sections 74.4C3, 18106M, 7434A1H, 18106B, and 105.1. I'll require respondents to comply within 20 days, or a fine of $100 a day will be assessed for each day that the violation continues until compliance is achieved.
Number 18 is complied, 629 58th Street, CE 23080443. Number 19, 632 54th Street, CE 23070098.
City of West Beach Code Compliance, Robert Watkins. This property was cited July 7th. Certified mail was sent July 7th. Certified mail was received. City Hall and property was posted at July 18th. This property was cited for trash and debris, clothes hanging on the fence, garbage out, boat garbage out early, excessive growth, garbage can placement, sodding of unpaved areas sodding of bare areas in the yard, and unpaved parking, and sodding of bare areas in the swell. As of yesterday, compliant violations were sodding of the swell, the unpaved parking, sodding of the yard, and boat trash out early. Remaining violations are trash and debris, clothes hanging, excessive growth, and garbage can placement. I've had correspondence with the property manager and the tenants that were there yesterday. When I pulled up, he was out there cutting the grass, and when I left, I guess he stopped. I checked again a few hours later, around 3:30 yesterday, and no other progress had been made. So with this, the city is requesting additional 20 days at $150 per day after.
Thank you. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes.
And does the affidavit reflect that the notice of violation also was sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed?
Yes.
Because you kind of went through that list quickly, really quickly, 94-442C1 landscape areas, is that complied or not complied?
That is complied. The landscape area must be grass. That one's complied.
Okay, 7894C, swales and parkways?
Swales and parkways is complied also.
Okay. 18106A, clean and sanitary.
That is that is still remaining.
I think you said that 54262 clothes hanging is still outstanding.
Yes, ma'am.
94482A, parking requirements.
That has been complied.
Okay. 18106B, excessive growth. I think you said that's outstanding.
That's still outstanding, yes.
And 7434A1H, trash can. I think you said it's always out there
yes,
still.
Ma'am, it's
Yeah.
still.
Excellent.
The trash
And-
one, I'm sorry, was still outstanding?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And 20 days a reasonable amount of time?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Thank you. And CE 23070098, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files, composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that you had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs and testimony of the city code officer that the respondents are in violation of section 18106A, 54262, 18106B, and 7434A1H. I'll require compliance within 20 days, or $150 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violation continues thereafter until compliance is achieved.
Number 21, 1358 8th Street, CE 23080426.
Good morning, Officer Luster, West Palm Code. This property was cited for junk inoperable vehicle, trash can in public view, clean and unsanitary conditions, outdoor storage, cleaning up one half of easement area, and garbage litter and refuge. Property was posted on 9/19/2023. Cert mail was returned to us on 9/15/2023. I'm asking for 30 days or $100 per day after.
Thank you. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
And was City Hall posted with the notice of violation?
Yes, ma'am.
We're reviewing photographs. Do those photographs truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed?
Yes, ma'am.
Before we go into that, have you had any contact with an owner or representative of the owner?
No, ma'am, and it is a rental property, but I haven't had no contact.
Okay. And can you please tell us for the record what it is that you've observed?
Okay. It's a constant junk vehicle on the property. The garbage can is mostly in public view, that and or the recycle bins. The easement area is severely overgrown in the rear of the property, and the outdoor storage is constant. Tires, automotive parts, stuff of that nature, and they need to pressure clean driveway and sidewalk.
Okay, thank you. In terms of the junk or abandoned vehicle, what makes it junk or abandoned?
Most of the time they're sitting on flat tires,
That would do
and
it.
they will inflate, and they stay up for a few days and go back down.
Okay, and you've been around this property multiple times, so you're seeing this occur and reoccur, is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and the trash can is kind of living outside during days and times that do not correspond with authorized trash pickup days?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And do you believe that 30 days is a reasonable amount of time?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. And are you seeing any progress?
None, nothing's really changing.
All right. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
In case CE 23080426, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that you had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs and testimony that respondents are in violation of sections 34102A, 18106A, 7434A1H, 9471C, 744C5, and 744A3. And I'll require respondents to comply within 30 days or face a $100 a day fine for each day that the violation continues or after until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 22 is complied, 819 6th Street, CE 2308014. Number 23, 916 4th Street, CE 230800422.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code. Property was cited for a condition of exterior roof and or wall, a condition of exterior, that was repeated, so eliminate one of those, 18103B, thank you. The exterior wall in the kitchen is needing to be repaired. It's literally, it either was a bad roof or some kind of water is intruding because the wall is actually soft. This is a concrete building, so I'm not sure how that comes about, but something's going on. The landscape, all open spaces, windows need to be replaced. Egress, they have air conditioning units in a bedroom where there's only one window, so there's no egress for that bedroom. So I'm asking for the air conditioner to be removed or the air conditioner to be put into the wall some kind of way. Provide screens for the windows, and that's that. And property was posted on 9/19 along with City Hall. Certified mail was signed on 8/11/2023. I'm asking for 60 more days or $100 per day. I have spoke with the representative of the property, and they are ordering windows, and we all know that takes some time. And the landscaping, she assured me that it will be taken care of, so I'm just trying to give some time to work those issues out.
Thank you. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
And does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is it about the windows that makes them need to be replaced?
It's a very old building, and they're awning windows, and either the window cranks are missing, broken, and the windows at one point in time would not close tightly, so they were screwed down, and they're just not working. There's no working mechanisms in them.
Okay. And I think you were talking about the landscaping. You're seeing bare areas in
Yes, ma'am.
in the lawn and stuff, and those are going to need to be grassed or have other approved plant material.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, ma'am.
Very good. And let's see. And you talked about the wall as being soft. Did you see that in one wall, more than one wall?
No, I saw it only on the exterior wall in the kitchen, which is to the back. Is that wall?
Okay. And the photographs that we've been reviewing, they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations you've observed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's that wall. I'm sorry I talked over you.
You can put your hand in. It's absolutely soft.
Okay. Do you know to replace those windows? Are they going to have to get a permit?
Of course.
Okay.
Yes,
do you believe that 60 days is a reasonable amount of time to do all this?
I better go ahead and give them a little more time than that, since you just brought that up. You're correct. So we'll do 120.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anything further, officer?
No, thank you.
Okay,
No,
very good. Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
All right, in case CE 23080422, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the signed certified mailing as well as the affidavit of posting that you had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs and testimony of the city code officer that the respondent's in violation of sections 18103B, 94442C1, 18103E, 18100, and 18102.3, and I'll require compliance by the respondents within 120 days, or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violation continues until compliance is achieved.
Number 24, 517 Division Avenue, CE 23080457.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code. Property was cited for cleaning unsanitary conditions, overgrowth, cleaning up one half of easement, fence and/or wall repair. I've had contact with owner representative of the property on yesterday, first contact. I explained to them that the case was coming to hearing today, and I would give 30 more days for compliance, or $100 per day after. Property was posted in City Hall on 9/19/2023. Certified mail was signed on 8/24/2023. It is a huge property. It's a lot of overgrowth, being that, we've had a lot of rain. But it's newly purchased, and it is purchased by someone down in Dade County, and it's just not being maintained.
Is it, I'm sorry, while the pictures are scrolling, is it both properties, the vacant one and the house?
That is one continuous property.
Oh,
They
okay,
just
so
divided it.
Okay.
The previous owner just put the divide of the fence down the middle,
But it's the
one
entire,
property.
okay, very good, thank you.
Thank you. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed?
Yes, ma'am.
And in terms of the clean and sanitary, is that something different from the overgrowth?
Yeah, driveway, sidewalk needs cleaning.
Okay.
It's all filthy.
All right. And then the driveway and sidewalk, that's also the 74-4C5 cleanup to the center of the right of way?
That's basically all of the overgrowth abutting the alley. It's an alley that's next to this property. You see it on the opposite side of the, it's not a vacant lot, it's just a big lot of the property. And you also see where the fence is, that's the driveway.
Okay.
And the wall that's been damaged next to the alleyway.
Okay, just for the record, what is it about the fence that leads you to believe it's an alleged violation?
It's in disrepair along with the wall.
Is it something that, do you think it's going to need a permit if they repair it?
I
don't
speaking
think
with
it
the
would.
property representative yesterday, and I told her to get easy compliance for code is to remove that section. And they have a full renovation that's going to happen on the property, but I explained to her, in order to satisfy code, remove that section, we're done. So, no, you won't need a permit to remove that section of the fence and that pillar of the wall.
Okay. And are you seeing any progress?
None.
Okay. So 30 days a reasonable amount of time?
Yes, we're maintaining that grass because it's getting pretty unsafe, and pressure cleaning the driveway and sidewalk, and to remove that fence and that pillar. I would say 30 days is enough time.
Okay. And the photographs that we reviewed, they truthfully and accurately depict and represent these alleged violations?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
All right, in case CE 23080457, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on this signed certified mailing as well as the affidavit of posting that you had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs and testimony of the city code officer that the respondent's in violation of sections 18106A, 74-4C3, 74-4C5, and 94-302A4. I'll require respondents to comply within 30 days, or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violation continues thereafter until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 25, 837 4th Street, CE 23080455.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code. This property was cited for securing of vacant property, painting of boards, failure to comply, overgrowth, repair and or replacement of fence and or wall, numbering standards, and cleaning up one half of easement. I've had no contact with the property owner. Nothing's been accomplished on the property. Property was posted on 9/19/2023. Certified mail was signed on 8/24/2023. I'm asking for 30 days or $100 per day.
Thank you. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also posted at City Hall?
Yes, ma'am.
And I think we're going to see some photos. Do those photos truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you tell us for the record what it is you've observed?
Severe overgrowth, the need to secure the property itself. We did have a homeless camp residing at one point, but they have moved on. There's plenty of debris on this property, and it is in need of a posting of an address somewhere on the property, and none of that's been accomplished.
Okay, and we can see from the photograph that looks like it's missing a roof, and
Yeah.
looks like it's starting to crumble or could crumble, and so it definitely needs to be secured to keep people away, right?
Yeah, they went there and put up the construction fence, the orange fencing, and they did that in the back and the front, across the driveway area in the front. But as of yesterday, that was torn down and across the road. I picked it up and pushed it off to the sidewalk, but
If that orange fencing stays up, is that enough to
no,
bring
it's
the
not
fence
secure
wall
enough.
maintenance?
No. It's
Okay.
not secure enough, and it's not in good condition for its installation.
Okay, and so the fencing, we're seeing some chain link fence that looks like it needs to
That's
kind of
in-
drooping.
It's in disrepair.
So would any of this fencing or securing require permits in your opinion?
If they do something more than just a repair, yes, ma'am.
Okay, but this could be done with a repair, in your
yes,
opinion?
ma'am.
Okay, so 30 days a reasonable amount of time?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
And I see just, so I'm clear, I see on the agenda there's health, safety, welfare.
Yes, safety and welfare for the overgrowth, and I would like to have it abated, give it 10 days to abate for is that concern.
And that's just the overgrowth, I'm sorry?
Just the overgrowth.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So I have questions about that. So what is it about the overgrowth? Do you believe that it becomes a habitat for pests, insects, other types of small creatures, and could attract also dumping trash and debris and things of that nature because of its nature of being overgrown?
Yes, ma'am, all of the above.
And do you believe things like that pose a health, safety, and welfare potential problem or issue?
Absolutely.
Okay, so if anybody wanders into this property because it's unsecured, it really puts somebody at risk. Is that
At risk, high risk, because it is intruding onto the sidewalk. It's so much overgrowth.
Thank you very much. Back to you, Special Magistrate.
How long has it been sitting like that? A long time?
Yes, ma'am. They have open permits on this property, believe it or not.
And so, just so I'm clear on the health safety, is the condition, the unsecured nature of the what appears to be an unsafe structure, is that also health safety or just the overgrowth?
Well, just the overgrowth, for the simple fact, it's boards there, and they're just not painted, and they don't have a boarding certificate, but they went and painted some of them. See the yellow from when it was?
Yeah, I see.
Wood. So they've attempted to come into compliance somewhat, but not fully into compliance, so I'm leaving. So no, the structure itself is pretty.
It's okay, so as long as they secure it, then that becomes a compliance in your mind.
Exactly.
Okay. In case CE 23080455, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the signed certified mailing as well as the affidavit of posting that you had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs and testimony of the city code officer that the respondents are in violation of sections 18214B, 18214A, 18215B, 744C3, 18216C, 94302A4, 78-6, and 744C5. For the overgrowth, that's just 744C3, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
For section 744C3, I'll require respondents to comply within 10 days. First, I'll find that that violation does represent a health, safety, welfare violation based on the significance of the overgrowth and the tendency to attract rodents and other vermin. I'll require respondents to comply with that with code section within 10 days or authorize the city to abate the overgrowth. For the remaining code sections, I'll require compliance by the respondents within 30 days or $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violation continues thereafter until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 26805 21st Street, CE 230905593.
Good morning, Officer Underwood, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Property 805 21st Street was initially cited on September 1st. Certified mail was sent out September 12th. Both City Hall and the property were posted September 12th, and the certified mail is still in transit for return. This property was cited for excessive growth and obstruction of the right-of-way. I have not been in contact with the property owner, and the city's requesting 14 days or an abatement for the grass and separate the 78-1, which is the obstruction of the right-of-way. We're requesting additional 14 days or $100 a day after to move the trailer.
Thank you very much. Just for the record, this is a vacant lot?
Correct.
Okay. And is there an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes, there is.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Correct, it does.
The photographs that we were reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violation that you've observed?
Yes, they do.
Okay. With respect to the trailer obstructing the right-of-way, are you seeing that multiple times, and when was your last inspection of the property?
So I was there yesterday, and there was two trailers there. There were two trailers there. Now they're down to one. It is blocking the sidewalk and hasn't moved in a couple weeks.
Okay. I don't know that I saw a photograph of the trailer.
Right there.
Oh, there it is.
There it
okay.
is.
All right.
There was another one in front of that also,
Okay.
but that one's been moved.
Okay. Thank you. So if they park not on the sidewalk but in the road, is that a violation? Would that
No,
be a
it
violation?
can be in the road.
It can be in the
as
road.
long as it's hooked to a vehicle, but it's blocking the sidewalk, which means you can't pass. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. With respect to the abatement that you're requesting, can you tell us a little bit about the excessive growth? What are you seeing?
Well, as you can see on the lot, the grass is extremely high, which attracts snakes and insects, vermin, homeless, trash debris people illegally dumping. So.
And you believe the condition that you're seeing and that you've described constitutes a health, safety, and welfare
Correct.
issue? Is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you very much. Otherwise, do you believe that 14 days is a reasonable amount of time?
Yes.
All right. And were you seeing otherwise any type of progress with cutting that overgrowth or doing anything to it?
I haven't seen any progress at all, no.
Thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
All right, thank you. On CE 23090593, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that you had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file as well as testimony of city staff that the respondents are in violation of sections 18106B and 78-1. For 18106B, excessive growth, I'll find that the violation amounts to a health, safety, welfare violation. I'll require respondents to comply within 14 days or authorize the city to abate. And with 78-1, I'll require compliance again within 14 days or assess a fine of $100 a day for each day that the violation continues thereafter until compliance is achieved.
Number 27, 1090 17th Street, CE 2309062.
Good morning, Officer Underwood, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Property 1090 17th Street was initially cited September 11th. Certified mail was sent out September 12th. Both city and the property were posted September 12th, and certified mail is still in transit. This property was cited for excessive growth and trash can in view of public. I have not been in contact with the property owner or anybody from that matter. And the city's requesting 14 additional days to get the grass cut and the trash can moved, or 150 per day thereafter.
Thank you very much. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, there is.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations you've observed?
Yes, they do.
With respect to the trash can, is it your testimony that that trash can lives outside on days or times that are not otherwise authorized during their pickup?
That's correct.
All right, and just for the excessive growth, you testified it's all over the place, all over the lawn, and it's certainly in excess of a height that it's supposed to be, right?
That's correct.
All right, thank you. 14 days a reasonable amount of time?
Yes.
Are you seeing any progress?
I haven't, well, somebody has removed the letter from the front door and replaced it with something else. So there is somebody coming in and out of the property, but other than that, no.
Thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
In case CE 2309062, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as Composite Exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that you had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs and testimony of the city code officer that the respondents are in violation of section 18106B and 7434A1H, and I'll require respondents to comply within 14 days or a $150 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violation continues until compliance is achieved.
Number 29, 821 14th Street, CE 2308055.
Good morning, Officer Underwood, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Property 821 14th Street was initially cited August 25th. Certified mail was sent out August 28th. Both City Hall and the property were posted August 28th. Certified mail was returned August 31st. I have been in contact with the property owner over the last couple weeks. Property was cited for clean to the adjoining right-of-way, provide windows and windows and screens for the property. Conditions of the structure with foundation, exterior walls, roof, license, business tax for rental license, clean and sanitary conditions, trash can in view of public, and a certificate of use for the rental license. To this day, everything exists due to him having to evict some residents and others not allowing him to come in and fix things. I met with him yesterday and we walked the property and spoke with a couple of the tenants who are going to let him come in and fix the walls, the windows, the toilets, the sinks, the refrigerators, everything that's an issue in there. So the city is requesting 120 days or $250 there a day after till compliance is achieved.
Thank you. You had mentioned windows and screens. Is it just window screens, or do they have to repair windows itself too?
There's a window on the garage side that's broke, so it's only one broken window, but there are missing screens throughout the property.
Okay, thank you very much. And again, the trash can is living outside on days and times that are not during the authorized
Correct.
pickup,
There are
right?
5 trash cans.
Yeah, okay.
5 or 6.
Thank you. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, there is.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
Photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the observations that you made of these alleged violations?
Yes, they do.
And do you believe that 120 days is a reasonable amount of time?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Special Magistrate in the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout sheet, and photographs.
And is it a multi-unit or is it just one?
It's a multi-unit building, correct?
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. All right, in case CE 23080535, let me just see the end of the photos. There's a lot going on there.
Yes, that's correct. He had squatters in a couple of the spots, which he had to go through the eviction process, which is why we're given so much time. And a couple of the things that he needs to fix as far as the door jams and stuff require permits and windows and whatnot. So
Okay.
120 days should be fair.
Was this complaint driven or was it?
Yes, complaint driven, correct.
Okay.
Yep. That was a missing microwave, that picture.
Okay. All right, in case CE 23080535, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that you had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the evidentiary case file that respondents are in violation of section 744C5, 18102.3, 18103B, 22441, 18106A, 7434A1H, and 2232A. And I'll require respondents to comply within 120 days, or a fine of $250 a day will be assessed for each day that the violation continues until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 30, 1405 North Mangonia Drive, CE 23090631.
Good morning, Officer Underwood, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Property 1405 North Mangonia Drive was initially cited September 11th. Certified mail was sent out September 12th. Both City Hall and the property were posted September 12th, and we're still waiting for the return for the certified mail. It's in transit. I have not been in contact with the property owner, and this property has been cited for excessive growth. The city's requesting 14 additional days or an abatement for the property due to health safety.
Thank you. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, there is.
And does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
That's correct, yes.
Just for the record, this is a vacant property?
Correct.
Yeah, vacant lot, I mean.
Yep, correct.
Okay. And the photographs that we're reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent this alleged violation?
Yes, they do.
And what you're seeing is the entirety of the lot is overgrown with weeds and grass that are higher than they're supposed to be.
That's correct.
And it looks pretty significant in that photograph that we just saw. Is it your testimony that because of the nature of the status of this overgrowth, that it's an attractive nuisance for pests, insects, small animals, trash and debris, and other things that can bring disease and potential injury?
That's correct.
And do you believe that such a status rises to the level of a health, safety, and welfare concern?
Correct.
Thank you very much. Do you believe 14 days is a reasonable amount of time to get this done if they addressed it?
Yes, I do.
Thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
In case CE 23090631, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting and the photograph of posting that you had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs that the respondent's in violation of section 18106B for the excessive weeds on the property. I'll require respondents to comply within 14 days, or authorize the city to abate, and I'll also find that the violation constitutes a health, safety, welfare violation.
Thank you.
Number 31 is complied. 711 22nd Street, CE 230800574. Number 32 is complied. 1038 17th Street, CE 230900607. And that completes the first part of the agenda.
Can we take a brief recess? Thank you.
West Palm TV, 30 seconds.
All right, with that, we'll reconvene the other matters agenda. It's still October 4th. It is now 11:33. My name is Amity Barnard. The first thing I'm going to do is swear anybody in who's on the agenda to testify today. If you could all, those of you in the audience, stand and raise your right hands for me. Thank you. Do you all swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? Yes. All right, thank you. So these are, I believe, all fine mitigation or fine reduction matters. When you hear your case called, the city's code enforcement officer will be standing on the podium to my left. You will approach the podium to my right. The city will put on its case first, and then you'll explain to me the justification for your request for mitigation. Keep in mind all of your testimony is given under oath today, so with that, I'll turn it to the city to call its first case.
Number 35-501 30th Street, CE 2005063. Number 35-501 30th Street.
Good morning, Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The address at 501 30th Street was originally cited on May 30th, 2020. They were cited for a repeat violation for overgrowth of weeds on the property. That was ordered on July 1st, 2020. It was ordered for the fine to start as of May 30th, 2020. That ran for $50 a day for 612 days for a total of $30,600. That was complied on February 1st, 2022. We have a prior agreement to reduce the fine to $2,500 payable within 60 days.
And that agreement is between the city and the respondent?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good morning. Your name?
Adriana Clemens, as attorney of record for the owner, 501 30th Street LLC.
All right, you've heard what the city says, so they say there's an agreement for the $2,500 payable within 60 days?
Yes, that's correct.
You're in agreement with that?
Yes.
Okay. City's still in agreement with that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Anything further from either side?
No.
No, ma'am.
All right, with that, in these fine reduction cases, do you need the record entered, Madam City Attorney?
Arlene.
On these fine reductions, remind me, do you need the record entered? The documents? Do you need any documents entered into the record? Okay, very good, thank you. In case CE 200500163, I'll reduce the lien amount from $30,600 to $2,500 payable within 60 days. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you, Marcus, appreciate it.
Number 36-814 Division Avenue, CE 08110340.
All right, Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. So the address at 814 Division Avenue, which is currently 728th Street, after the renovations and building was done, was originally cited November 17, 2008, for a failed inspection due to overgrowth of the alleyway, overgrowth of the overall area. There was basically a vacant lot. Fence that needed to be repaired, and a prohibited vehicle that was parked on the vacant lot. That went to magistrate hearing January 21st, 2009. It was ordered for the fine to start February 23rd, 2009. And that was ordered for $50 a day. It ran for 3,091 days for a total of $154,550. That was complied August 11th, 2017. This is the same owner, and service was achieved by certified mail for the original case. The city requests a reduction of 25% of the lien for a total of $38,637.50.
Is this 814 Division? That number, the fine number that you said is not the same as the agenda. Was that? I just want to make sure I thought maybe I was on the wrong one. I'm sorry.
The total fine amount should be $154,550.
And your reduction number was what, 30?
25% for a total of $38,637.50.
Marcus, what was that new address that's now assigned to the property?
It's 720 8th Street.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, gentlemen, your names for the record.
Yes, Madam Chair. I'm Reverend Gerald Kistner, and I'm the pastor of Tabernacle Baptist Church, 801 8th Street, West Palm Beach, Florida.
And the gentleman with you, is he going to speak?
Yes.
Okay.
Paul. Well, you.
Yeah, your name, sir?
Yes, my name is Paul Dumars, Sr.
Okay. And what's your relation to both your relations to the property?
I'm the treasurer for the board.
Okay, very good, sir. So you've heard the city's position. They're willing to reduce the fine amount, but their number is 25% of the fine, which is a quite large fine. What's your response to what you've heard?
Well, I want to say that's quite generous, but we think there's just really a serious misunderstanding that has taken place. At the time that we were cited, I suppose, the building had not been completed. My understanding, and Mr. Dumars can testify more, unfortunately, 2 of the people involved are dead. But when we found out that we had to tear this fence down, we did it immediately. And so for these last, from 2008 to 2023, 15 years or so, this fine has been running. We have had no idea, and the fence had long been taken down. And so we're a nonprofit. Why this is such a big problem for us, even at that rate of $38,000, we're trying to get a line of credit. And we didn't even know there was a lien on the property until the financial agency that was going to give us the loan, they did a search, and they found that there was this $250,000 lien on our property, which really shocked us because we had really no idea that this was going on. I think there may be a bit of confusion because 814 LLC is an entity that was formed because the county, when they gave us a $500,000 donation to build the building, could not give it to a religious institution. So this LLC was formed. And so I think maybe the notices were going to 814 Division Street, which there was no such place. And when we found out that this lien was on us, we immediately began to try to get in touch with the city and find out what was going on. So what I'm proposing, which would be reasonable for us, I mean, we'd be willing to maybe pay $1,000 to take care of some administrative costs and some mailings, but there's no way that we should be hit with any amount of money because we immediately complied. And if anyone had come out after 2009, I guess when he last saw it, they were seeing that fence was long gone. And so that's what we're appealing to. And Mr. Dumars can further testify to the actual tearing down of the fence. I was not a part of that. He was a part of it when the fence was torn down. And as I say, the other gentlemen, they're deceased. So I'm going to let Mr. Dumars talk. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Again, my name is Paul Dumars, Sr. And what Reverend Kistner said is true. We worked real hard to get the fence torn down and clean up the lot because we had planned to build the building that's there. And I will tell you, I never received any information about, code enforcement and the things that, we're being charged for. And so for us, it was, it just blew us away that, the amount of money, $50 a day. And the building, we have in that building program that we're just starting to help children. We have another program in that building called Bridges, which helps the community and people that really need help. And finally, we have a clinic in that building where people can come from that community and even sometimes from outside of the community to, get some service. And so, this is very near and dear for us. We really feel that there was a miss of communication that we didn't know anything of.
So you were involved back in 2008. You were there then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What was the fence? Was just a fence in disrepair and you all took it down?
Yes. Actually, the fence had been torn down and it was on the ground and it was around that whole lot. I don't know anything about that fence before, but we were given the order to get it torn down.
Do you have a date of when the fence was removed?
Magistrate, if I could just interject real quick.
Go ahead,
So
sir.
earlier I misspoke with the amount that's listed on the order here for $266,750. That was the original amount.
So that's the correct amount?
Well, that was the original amount. So once this came to our attention, myself and Mark Joyce did some research, and we looked at when the permits were applied for, which was the compliance date that we put in for August 11th, 2017. So that would have meant that that lot would have been cleared, and they would have started, broke ground to build the building that's there now. So in the eyes of the city, as far as a compliance date is concerned, on August 11th would have been that compliance date to clear the previous violations, the fence, the overgrowth, the prohibited vehicle that was on the property. And so when we stopped the fines, we reduced them, if you will, to
Further reduce them back to that date.
Correct.
Is how you got to that number.
ma'am.
Okay. So it wasn't just a fence violation, then it was a multitude of things?
Correct. It was overgrowth of the overall lot, and the alleyway, prohibited vehicle, and then of course the fence.
And if I may speak about that.
Go ahead, sir.
I know it was 2 Saturdays that a lot of our men at the church, we took care of that and didn't get any notice or any information about it, but we did what we were supposed to have done.
Yeah, so the difficulty with notice is that, as you've heard, you gentlemen have been sitting here for a little bit. I think you heard the end of the previous hearing, but that's the first thing I look for when they show me all these documents is who got notice, who were they legally supposed to give notice to, where did they mail all the documentation. So that's the first thing that I and any other special magistrate check is to ensure that they have legal notice for the hearing that you're appearing at or that someone is on the agenda for. As to where stuff is supposed to legally go, documents are legally supposed to go, and then as to whether someone actually receives them, sometimes there's a disconnect there, but so long as the city has met its statutory burden and sent them to the right place, then there's adequate service for that hearing. What it sounds like in this case is that there's potentially there was not notification to the city that you had corrected some of the violations when you did correct the violations. The difficulty for me is that if you don't have dates that you complied and you don't have any proof for me as to when exactly you complied, and this is so long ago now, it's difficult for me to give you, for there to be an actual stop date on certain violations. But I think to the city's point, it wasn't until the permit was pulled for the rest of the work that was the stop date that they used, the compliance date that they used. So I'm certainly willing to reduce the fine. I think it's coming to a fair amount based on the gravity of the violations, but also being sensitive to the fact that they went on potentially for quite a long time, that's almost 10 years. What's the city's response to the fact that they're a nonprofit?
I'd say due to the fact that they're a nonprofit, we would be willing to be more lenient than normally.
Okay. These ones get tricky when they get up to such a high fine amount. It's hard, that's a lot of money. So what I'm going to do, I understand both positions. I understand that there was some time that obviously dragged on in terms of when things were completed, in terms of when the city was notified or the city actually complied you out based on permits being issued. Hopefully I'm going to meet you all in the middle somewhere here, but in case CE 081100340, I'm going to reduce the lien amount from the further adjusted fine amount of $154,550 to $5,000 payable within 90 days. So that gives you a significant reduction, more than the city, I'm sure, is wanting me to give, but it does take into consideration that there's limited funding source, but it also continues to respect the city's code enforcement process. So I hope that gets you the relief that you need to move forward and clear your books in terms of the lien.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you both.
Madam Chairman, can I just say one thing?
Go ahead, sir.
Could we have a little more time than 90 days? Because we're going to have to raise an extra $5,000 to try to do that, and we don't want to have any more problems with the city.
Okay, let me ask the city attorney. I think you've been okay with 180 days. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll give you 180 days.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you, gentlemen.
Next case, number 86, other matters, 5300 Georgia Avenue, CE 141102441. 86 is actually before 33.
86.
I wondered what you were going to do with that one.
Our new system.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property at 5300 Georgia Avenue was originally cited November 17th, 2014. They were cited for many code violations: illicit discharge into the city's storm drain, discharge from fish trucks, illegal connection to the sanitary sewer, improper disposal of fish products, gills, scales, etc., outdoor storage of containers, and then a remodeling of the office that was done without permits. This went to hearing February 4th, 2015. It was ordered for the fine to start as of May 6th, 2015, and that was ordered for $150 a day. That ran for 103 days for a total of $15,450. That was complied as of August 17th, 2015. This was done under the previous owner. Under the new ownership, there's no cases with code enforcement on file. Service for the original case was achieved by posting. So being that it is the new owner, the city is requesting a reduction of 10%, or $1,545.
Good morning still, sir. Your name for the record?
My name is Miguel Molina.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. All right, so you've heard the city is saying that it was your predecessor that caused the problem?
Uh-huh. Yes.
And you've heard the relief they're requesting. That seems like a reasonable reduction to me. Is the use the same on the property?
Yeah, the use is the same on the property. It's just that the fine had to do with a drop ceiling. It was falling down, and we removed it. We were removing it. We didn't know we needed a permit.
All right, hold on. Let's back up there. Let me ask you to pause. That's not what I heard you say. I heard you say it was about illicit discharges.
Okay. That was the remodeling is what the fine's for. The discharging, all that stuff, the city came in and they did all the inspections and everything. Absolutely nothing was found that we were doing wrong on the property. So the fine has to do with the permit, the building permit, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
It was.
So that's part. So the drop ceiling is part of the violations.
The drop ceiling is the violation. Everything else was unfounded. There was nothing. They came in, ran cameras here, there, everywhere, smoke test, did absolutely everything. Nothing. There was no illegal connection. There was no discharge. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So there was nothing. There was no violations on any of that stuff. It was alleged, but nothing happened. There was nothing. They came in probably 3 times and did camera tests through the whole sewer system and everything else.
Do you have the order?
The violation has to do with the remodeling. Well, remodeling, I guess, for lack of a better word, but it was a drop-down ceiling in the office that was being taken down.
Affidavit.
and they did more than one smoke test. There was a couple of them. They're on our street for, oof, and absolutely nothing. It's not in our favor to do anything illegal anyway, so.
Oh, that wasn't it?
And they wouldn't allow us for the permit to do the ceiling until everything else was resolved in the city's eyes.
So what are the, let me ask the code officer, what are those section 90, 125, that's not building permit sections, right? What is that?
So it looks, just looking at this, it looks like there was a split order for
Oh, there's 105.1, that would be the building code part at the top that you're talking about. But those there was other violations of other code sections. I guess I just need confirmation that those section 90s are for the discharge.
There weren't violations. We were accused of it. The city came
But
in.
this is the order that finds you in violation of those sections. That's what I'm asking for confirmation from the city on.
By the time when they came and looked at everything, nothing.
So that may be just a difference in how we're speaking. You might be saying that there weren't violations. I think what this order might suggest is that they were violations. You had time to correct them, and if it was confirmed that there was no continuing violation after the compliance date.
There wasn't anything to correct because we didn't have any legal hookup or anything. So they came in and they ran a little robot camera through everything.
Okay.
So there was nothing to correct there. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the whole fine has to do with the
permit, work without a permit.
Inside the office. Everything else, there was no fine for that.
I just want to be clear because part of my job in reducing fines has to do with the gravity of the violation and illegal discharge and illegal connections. That's a pretty serious violation.
100% it is, but there was nothing like that.
Okay, that's just why I'm asking for the clarification.
They even did a test of the water saying that there was extra protein from the fish house. Nothing. There was no. The test came back correct. The correct levels.
All right, so while they're looking at that, you've heard the city's number. 10% is typically what they ask for when it's not, you're not the violator. There we go, runoff connections. Okay. $9203, $9125.8 was the legal connection. So is that right? The only thing that initiated the fine was the building permit?
Yes, ma'am. That's what it appears to be.
Okay. All right, is the city staying with its 10% recommendation, given that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That seems a little excessive, though. I mean, for a drop-down ceiling. I mean, reduce somebody else from 30,000 to 2,500.
I'm not saying I'm not saying I'm gonna grant that. I'm just asking them to confirm what their recommendation
No, I
is.
understand. I'm just speaking out loud. Sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to be clear because illegal connections and illegal discharges, those are serious violations of the code. So That is not,
Not even gonna
that
argue
is a
with that.
circumstance where I would probably not even reduce a fine, because that's a serious,
Wouldn't even
serious
be here.
allegation.
I wouldn't even be here if that was the case, so.
All right, so do you have a 1545? I mean, that's significant. I'm gonna reduce it further, but do you have a number in mind?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a number in, I mean, did you come with a number prepared, or were you reduce it to zero kind of guy?
I don't know, a couple $1,000, just,
All right, that's about where I was gonna land, so in case CE 141-10241, I'll reduce the fine amount from $15,450 to $1,000 payable. Can you pay that in 30 days?
I'll pay it this week.
All right,
The
very
money's sitting
good.
in escrow with the attorney, he's dying to write you a check.
To get it done, all right. Payable within 30 days. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you very much. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Oh, can I get a letter for that or something so I can give the attorney?
I don't have them on me. If you want to write your email address, I can.
I will do that, yeah.
provide it. And then I believe the next couple cases are no-shows or numbers 37, 1401 Village Boulevard, 911 CE 200100072.
37 and 38 have to be rescheduled.
Number 37, okay, both of them.
Yep.
Number
Yes, ma'am.
38, 7617, 76 Way, CE 22040267, that's rescheduled as well. And that completes the agenda. What is it? Mike, no, okay, now that you said it, okay. All right, you're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, with that, are we ready to stand adjourned then? Nothing further?
Nothing further.
Okay, we'll stand adjourned at 11:59.